24 hours back, the market was showing you fear. Right now, greed is popping its head out, looking at which asset should I buy. If that's you, look through the assets and understand the entire market is showing you one signal. Look at the dollar when it is breaking through your trend line supports. Difference is, some with 100,000 followers will give you an idea that this is the support, you're going to bounce off from there. But the difference in the SI family is that we've been having similar thought process, following it up, giving you guys the right mindset about where it's going. Yes, it is easy to say it's going to happen once it's done. I mean, it doesn't make sense. But coming out there in the market and saying, okay, this is going to drop and it's going to bounce back up, it takes some guts, because if you're wrong, people will always call you out for sure. So that's in March. We followed it out before we bounced when everyone else was still bearish. This was what the SI family was educated about. The odds in the market, and precisely look at each and every movements. Now, how did we end up here saying, okay, I'm looking at this possibility, I'm looking for the price to go up? What are the odds or data points which I considered or which you should be looking at without failure? That is what we are going to look at, because these are consistent. See, before everything happened and still when the price was still going down, we had the thought process. Remember, this was back, right? And the thought process is like 2 weeks back, we had this idea. Going a little bit while back, we were already saying, I want this to meet the moving average and price. It happened. What next? So when the market is giving you this, as we talk through, it's great. Yes, you should look at other assets. Yes, literally you should look at what happened in the market and how can you move in and around or position yourself. That's important. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. When you are looking through the price action, you should keep in mind that when dollar is breaking down, that's a very good indicator for the market. If you want to have an understanding, just remove everything and ask yourself, what are you watching? One, on a daily scenario, is the dollar looking great? If you've been here few days, few weeks, you already know we talked about this possibility. Retest of the moving average and a rejection. That usually creates momentum. Remember, the ABC, that retest pushed the price up. But it failed to break through this range, which happens to be a long-term resistance range. Now, the argument is very easy. If you even think that TA works, now you're here putting that supports in, saying, okay, 100 is going to be one of the biggest supports I would look at when you see this trend line break. And it's happening right in front of you. Now, say you are a little bit more conservative. You want to connect these trend lines and say, okay, maybe we are not going to 100. Maybe we'll get supported around 102. That's still fine. But in any case, that gives you more room to the downside on dollar, which would eventually give you more upside in crypto. Bitcoin showing you it is still at the all-time highest range of bouncing off from there, gives you all the idea you actually need. Say you want to look at the altcoins. That is the right approach. If you're in altcoins, that's important. Ether is still there. It is flirting with the moving average on a weekly compared to what Bitcoin is showing you, which means the dominance is increasing. Fine. But on the weekly, look at what the price action is showing you. You are now going through a bullish engulfing candle. So yes, you still have a couple of days to get the final weekly close for sure. But if you do look at this and ask a clear question to yourself, what do you see in the chart which can be identified, back tested across the different spectrum, whether you are on a daily chart, whether you're on a weekly chart, it doesn't matter. If you see something like this, 7 to 8 out of 10 times it should align with your results. That's the greatest odds you can find, 70 to 80% odds. If you are lucky, maybe you will find 90% odds, but being consistent is what matters. So coming back to the point, the market actually showed you this before the price went up. Everyone was calling for the downside, remember, but the price went up. Now here you are, you have higher lows and the RSI creating lower lows, which usually signals you what? A bullish divergence. Now we've talked about that for a few days. We wanted a bounce off from this range to say that yes, we got what we wanted. Right now you're at that area where you're bouncing off just like this. I wish to see a retest. Being honest, I wish to see a retest. That means when the price is bouncing off, taking off from here, it has already given you a higher low scenario for sure. You're watching that. If you are a micro guy looking at the trend lines, you would argue, okay, we had a breakout, we had a retest, we bounced off. We even broke this range, which gives you a clear idea because the micro channel, it's now broken. Now, all that you're looking at is this resistance. Fine. If that's what you're looking at, it's completely organized on that micro level. But what you should be looking at the same time is that 3-day chart. Because on a 3-day chart, the moment you go onto a momentum side of things, you will see, okay, it is slowly trying to shift through this. How many of you here remember the argument which I put in comparing this range, saying, okay, on a daily it showed you will go up, but a 3-day chart was putting another argument saying it's going to create like this. So now you broke higher, you need a retest and a bounce. So this is what I said. I would like to see a retest and a bounce after this breakthrough. So the price comes up, 67 range, stays there, retest this and bounce off. This is what I would really like to see. Now, you can put that back into the candlestick side of things and look at this and say, okay, are we breaking the moving average? Yes, we are. If the price stays above 65,400 for this 3-day candle close, that is a break of the moving average. So you go back in history, you would like to check each time when you had a drop of 20, 30%, whatever you would like to see, and then when you came back above it, did you go back down or did you go up? This is the easy way to look at the market. So you have 20 to 30% drop, you come back above, what happens? A retest and a bounce. Fair. When you don't have a retest and bounce, this is what happens. You slowly come back down to test that range. This is why I said, I wish I see a retest and a bounce. That would be the logical thing I would like to see. Because if not, you'll watch comparatively higher volatile movements in that corrective session, which would kick a lot of people out. Because when Bitcoin does these moves, altcoins also resonate well. Now, jumping onto the altcoin sides, with the same ideology, keep this in mind. If you are an altcoin rider, looking at where you should potentially exit, that time is not yet here. Believe me, it's coming. And when I say coming, I'm literally thinking coming soon. Why? Now, most likely you're starting this run up. Even though the structure looks similar to this, the price action and the RSI, the strength shows you don't have a negative divergence yet. You're going to prepare one, most likely, which means you are going to see the price forming a negative divergence somewhere here. If that's what's coming in front for us, say you're not looking for 200,000 Bitcoin, then logically you're looking for a move like this, where the price goes up. We've been talking about this for a few months, right? The RSI shows you this. This is where you see huge amounts of money moving into the altcoin. That is going to be a 2 to 3 months time after that, where you see massive pops. Now, put that equation onto your altcoin chart here. If you're on a weekly, not a hourly, showing you a big support range below with a lot of liquidity and the moving average coming to the price, shows you there is a higher possibility that you are going to bounce off, and there is a higher possibility it's going to be a bullish checkmate pattern. We discussed about that in the last couple of videos. So if that's true, your next support becomes here. Now, is that a small movement in the market? I wouldn't say that, because at this point, if we get a 10 to 12% run up, that's a relief. One, it's not a big blast, but it's a relief. Why? If you do that, what you're doing on a monthly is that you're coming back up to erase last month's corrective movement, 70 to 80%. That's positive. If you fail to break even 50% of that this month, you still have weak buyers or stronger sellers who are active in the market. So on the monthly, when your RSI is showing you the push back to the upside and the moving average is showing you I'm already trending to the upside, now what you're looking at is zooming in. Weekly, I'm already traveling to the upside. 3-day, now I'm going down. So the moving average needs to be broken to the upside and then pulled back to the upside. So for that, you'll first go into a daily and look at, okay, is that daily moving back to the upside? Is this happening on the daily? This is how the daily then pushes the 3-day to the upside. So right now you are here. You really want to see a break here. 1. 2, if you're a pattern guy, you are looking at a breakout here, calling out for your measured move, which would be somewhat something like this, where you will have your measured move plotted like 25%. That's good, because if you do that 25%, you're going into a new highs price discovery in this cycle. Now, at that time, if you zoom out, you'll understand we are going closer and closer to all-time highs, and few or a lot of small to medium cap altcoins will be at the all-time highs. So this is why you go back into the market and you look at, okay, which of these assets are running up with a lot of volume. That should make sense for you. Because now if you see a lot of these volume, that's good. Look at them. What is that particular asset doing? I've been getting a lot of questions about this particular asset. Look at this asset and ask the question legitly. Like, you should be honest to yourself. The moment we saw the negative divergence, we called it out, saying, guys, watch. The weekly is showing you a negative divergence. The price should go back down. In the SI family, that's one of the primary reasons why thousands follow this. Why? Because you get to see things before it happens 70 to 80% of the time. Yes, that means in 10 charts, 1 or 2 will be wrong. I'm not a bot. I'm a human being, so I will make mistakes. But over the years, last 8 years, I've managed to learn more and more. Now that creates this accuracy. So when you do see, you also see the dates on which all of these are posted. So the SI family is growing because they get to see this, right? They get to see the level of calls which they get. And it's not one or two. We are going through a ton of these different assets, going through the breakouts, giving you guys the right idea. So if you want to get into the SI family, use the link in the description below where you'll receive ton of value, especially when the market is going up and you're confused. You should know what the market is showing you. Because remember, I plotted a lot of assets showing you, yes, you got negative divergence and you dropped. How much did you drop? You dropped 45%, some 50, some 60. But at that drop, even with that 60% drop, the market was showing you you're still above the moving average. 1. 2, the price to RSI was showing you hidden bullish divergence, which pushed the price back up. Historically, that's what we have seen. Okay, if that's true, now we're like, okay, fine. Okay, that's true. Do you have anything more? Like, how much do you really need? Yeah. Now, if you are that one guy who needs thousands of confirmation, okay. This is a trend line which has been valid all the way from December 2022. And it still is relevant in this 2024 May with the price bouncing off. That's something to think about. So if you're looking at this, arguing this is the 1, this is the 2, maybe the 3 is coming. What's going to be the targets? In the SI family, you'll be updated. I'll go through and post each and everything there. But in general, understand the structure. If it has given you a 1, 2, 3 historically and then went down, look for the negative divergence. This is 95% of the time in 95% of the crypto assets. This is valid. Whether you're with me or not, look for this. It's going to give you 90% accuracy for your profit taking. You don't want to try and pick the top. Don't get trapped into that mentality. Rather, ride this market to the upside. You will see large cap assets like this, the XRP, which is still at the support. It's a good thing that you are not breaking the support to the downside. That is positive. But you need to see the price breaking the daily, the 3-day, the weekly. As of now, you're still struggling with that daily. The moment you actually get to see XRP breaking this pattern, that's a positive news. Fine, you have this as a pattern. You break that to the upside. You're following what? The pattern in the altcoin market. That's good. Because if the entire altcoins are going to run up, XRP is going to follow them. That is all that we want, right? So here, it's not a hidden bullish divergence. Rather, it's a bullish divergence. The price is going down, but the RSI is going up. So it's showing you clearly someone is buying for some reason. I don't know who that crazy individual is. I don't know who that crazy group is. But last time when you actually saw this, that was your bottom and you went up. Now that was just after Terra Luna crisis leading into the FTX, which pushed the price back down. So keep that in mind. This goes all the way back till here. You got the bullish divergence. What happened? That was your bottom. You went all the way up 10, 15x in XRP. So at this point, if you do that, you're like $5, $7.5. Price is going higher. Not 500, not 5,000, not 10,000. Agreed. But that's a good ROI you're looking at. But when the price goes into the euphoric terms, that's when you see the price discovery playing big candles. Trying to catch that would be hard, but positioning right here, right now, is going to be the easiest way. And if you need help in aligning your portfolio in the right way, join the SI family. 1,000+ members are readily taking benefit of everything I post just like this. Months before you get the idea of what exactly is coming, what are the odds in the market when everyone else is looking at the other direction, you get to see, okay, that's a possibility I should be prepared for. So guys, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, I would request, do that for me. I'll meet you guys on next video. Bye for now.